Kia ora guys, Richard Liu here, editor at nzentrepreneur.co.nz. Right now I'm talking to Erin Wansbrough. Erin is joining us from up north a bit in, I think, not quite in Hamilton, but she'll tell us. Erin's the CEO at Soda, or Soda Inc. And of course, we're celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week as well this week. So very cool to be chatting. Erin, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us today.
Thank you, Richard. Kia ora. Nice to be here.
Yeah, cool. Now, is it Hamilton?
Yes, I do live in Hamilton, and I'm going to apologise if you see background noise because the time that it is, we're in lockdown, and there's a building site outside my window.
Right. Okay. No, we'll be all good. So, can you tell us, for those who don't know about Soda or haven't heard of the organisation, what are you guys all about? What do you do?
So Soda helps entrepreneurs get their thinking right. We help them clarify what they want to do and why they want to do it. So we start with what might success look like on their terms and why they want to go down the path that they're considering. We then work with them to get the roadmap, the thinking right. What we know are the processes, the structure, the rigor, the kind of the hacks and the shortcuts to help you get started practically to test your idea. But we also have a very deep and broad network of really talented experts and specialists that we connect you to. And we help you start to validate your business and work out that roadmap and where to get going. There's another part of Soda, which is we support private business and SME with business growth services like coaching and deep dive workshops.
Right. So basically, you're a team of people set up to help entrepreneurs, business owners, innovators, crystallize their ideas, get their ideas going, and figure out how to turn them into businesses. Would that be a good summary?
You got it. A core thing we focus on is not only the business, so is this business, could it be viable, could it be monetized, how do you sort this out? But you also work on you as a person, and I'm not trying to sound motherhood apple pie, but to get really clear on why you want to do it, your commercial background or lack thereof, it can be both, but also your mindset. So to help you understand it's going to get tough, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it when things fail? So we really work on you, the human, because you are the business for those first few years or until you get 2 or 3 around you. So if you haven't got that support system, your mindset right as to why you're doing this and what it's going to take, then you probably won't go too much further beyond the first 90 days because you've got to get all that stuff sorted out too. So a founder incubator that help entrepreneurs grow, very much about the person, the founder, as much as the business itself.
Right. I mean, that's such a really interesting point you bring up there because, you know, we all know the anecdotes about business failure or startup failure, you know, X number out of 5 or won't last 5 years. So, you know, for people who haven't started a business before, you know, there's a good chance that it can be very daunting, right? And in fact, if you actually look at the journeys of many successful entrepreneurs, both here in New Zealand and internationally, what you actually find out is they've actually had a go a number of times. They've had to try multiple business ideas and ventures before they finally have that success. So if what you're saying is you guys are focused on helping build the entrepreneur just as much or more importantly than whatever idea they happen to be working on, I think that's a really kind of an important distinction there, because of course, you know, the idea at the time may or may not work, right? But
that's right. And it also depends on, we find, the founder's background. So a number of the Soda staff and people who support us have been there, done that. So they know the path, they know the journey. They also know the procrastination and the time it takes and the, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda, I'll do it one day. We know all that stuff that gets in the way that stops people from starting or implementing or getting off first base. I think the other core part of it is we also understand, depending on your context. So some people move into entrepreneurship because they want to create self-employment, or they actually have the next great thing that's going to fly into Mars, you know, so they've got that bold ambition. But that said, there are also a large number of people who might have a day job and family and enough security to not jump off just yet. And in 30 years' time, they have regrets that they wish they'd done that, or they see someone else execute it. So there's all these different reasons. And that's why I go back to the human or that mindset, is to really get clear on your purpose and your why. So whatever are the barriers that are going to stop you from getting the job done, i.e. implementing and do the validation and do the, you know, do that grind. Because unless you're doing the mahi and the work, It's only going to stay an idea on paper, right? You've got to get out there and put yourself out there and start selling and start creating and start prototyping and start formulating whatever your product is. You've got to start doing and putting yourself out there to fail. And that takes time and commitment to say, actually, I'm doing this. And often we find entrepreneurs say, actually, I've got a day job, so I'm just getting really busy with my day job, which is I've got security and I don't fail there, so I'm going to keep not doing what actually I really want to do. So that's why we get into that passion and that purpose to say, why is this an itch you cannot resist scratching? Or when it gets really hard, what's going to make you get up and do it again because you care enough about it, rather than going, I'm out, it's just too hard. So yeah, that's just the person piece is a critical part of the equation.
Brilliant. Thinking about 2021, funny old year again. What have been some of the key initiatives or programs that you guys have run for
entrepreneurs? So we help entrepreneurs from that ideation, getting an idea out of your head, getting it on paper, testing, kind of how you might start getting the idea right. So we've run 3 of those sort of cohorts. In addition, we've started to work with some clients from the Ministry of Social Development who are looking post-COVID to create self-employment. So instead of going down another path and looking for another role, they've actually, if someone backed me, if I knew how to start a business, I think I want to move into self-employment now. So our early stage programs, what used to be regional economic development or born global ideas, getting their idea out of here, we've now had a lot of people looking at how do I create self-employment in a way that will be viable? How do I know my numbers? How do I do my marketing? So we've started to bring that into our mix because every entrepreneur is welcome at SODA. The other part is we've continued to do our deep dive programs, our lift and our boost programs, which are about businesses that are globally ambitious and have the potential to scale, still very early stage. We put a lot of expertise around helping them work out what is next, and it's very specific to their commercial knowledge, their personal background, and also the industry that they're working in. So it's very bespoke. The other core thing we've done is we've repositioned our boost program, because we found in the market there was a lot of people helping businesses raise capital, that seed capital, or getting ready for Series A, effectively getting their pitch deck right and making the right introductions to the investor network that matched them. But we were finding, 1, it was a little bit scattergun, and 2, it wasn't thinking about what is a long-term capital strategy for your business. So yes, you need to raise capital, but think long-term about why, think what type of investor you're looking for, and also think about what is the cost that comes with that money, the cost as well as the benefits. So we have repositioned our Boost program and delivered that. We've got 3 businesses in it at the moment, but we've done it in collaboration with Deloitte, Tompkins Wake, the Angel Network who supported us, and Callaghan Innovation to reposition not only how to get seed investment, because cash is king when you're a scaling business, but also just that really tailored and targeted introductions, and also thinking about the strategy long-term in your business and your cap table and what that looks like, rather than taking money from anywhere. And, that can happen. So that's been a key initiative. The other thing we've done is we've continued on with our seed grants, which are a way for businesses across New Zealand to compete for cash prizes, 1st, 2nd, 3rd for the best pitch. But in preparation for that, they also get time with SODA getting their pitch ready. So it's enabling people from, we had someone from Ruapuki Island. Now, if you don't know where that is, it's in between Invercargill and the Stewart Island as part of our program. We've also had someone from the top of Kaitaia as part of this, competing and pitching. And that's what I love about the seed grants, over and above the number of businesses, as that it is, you can be anywhere to participate and come into this community and get the support and the backing. So that's something that we've continued on with. We've got 2 other core things that are underway. One is Rise Up. So Rise Up is, we decided that when we look for female entrepreneurs, sometimes it can be a bit like that, especially in the tech sector or globally ambitious. So we decided to run a competition that was focused on globally ambitious female entrepreneurs looking to raise capital. We had such a swell of interest, which showed us the strength that exists. So what, if anything, we like doing is that we're showing a spotlight on this talent and also giving them a platform on which to pitch and present their ideas. So there'll be a first, second and a third, but actually it's the process and the visibility, and it's been so successful we're going to run it again in the new year.
That's fantastic. Awesome to hear. And I'm not sure if people realise it, but Soda, you've been around for some years now. And I remember talking last year in Innovation Nation, our series for 2020. How's it been personally for you, sort of getting your feet under the desk and getting in amongst the team there?
Yeah, so Soda is 12 years old. I'm really proud about what it's achieved because it has stayed true to its why. I think many people say they're customer focused or user focused, but we have absolutely remained focused on, as I was saying earlier, the personal journey and why. So a very human business, as much as putting in the rigor and the structure and the process required to grow a business. We also can be pretty hard. We'll tell you if your baby is ugly as well. So, but we'll also tell you maybe, how you might be able to pivot or make it cuter. So getting my feet under the desk, I think I'm most proud of the fact that our pipeline of businesses has really evolved. We help grassroots, will only ever look for own self-employment or potentially grow within their region. We also helping far more businesses that are looking to scale and be quite, they're quite tech intensive. So I like the fact that our pipeline has matured and yet it hasn't become snobby, maybe only doing the, globally ambitious. We're agnostic. Entrepreneurship is something that takes bravery, commitment, but takes the same sort of processes regardless of, what your ambition is. And we want it to be accessible. And we want to ensure also that we're very collaborative. So there's so much great support going on across New Zealand that we try to work in partnership where we can. It's not about us owning a business in our pipeline, not at all. It's about how do we help them with their bit to light the fire, to get them started, and then to also ensure they know who else they can work with that's going to help them go further. So we've had some formal partnerships as well as some informal ones across New Zealand. So we've done a lot of work with the Petri Dish and Startup Queenstown Lakes and Dunedin, a lot of support and conversation with, Startup Queenstown Lakes. In addition to that, we've had a formal relationship with Venture Taranaki where we ran the Power Up program in the background with them leading out. We trained people in their organisation and how to run these programs. And through a process, we had 45 businesses go through the Power Up program, 5 of which then went into a Soda Deep Dive program. Since then, 7 of those businesses have actually launched. And one of those businesses is in our Boost capital raising program. They're looking to scale. That's Soul and Sea. So, the fact that shows collaboration, within Venture Taranaki and all of the support that goes in that region, they're just kicking butt down there. And we can be a small part to help raise that up. But also it helps Soda ensure that the businesses that come through our Lift and Lift Light programs have already been created for the dance. It also means that when they leave Soda, there's so many other people they've known or touched along the way that will help them go further. So those initiatives are, what I'm most proud of is the fact that we've kept true to our why, and we've worked with others to show those pathways across New Zealand.
That's fantastic. And look, it's been a pleasure to talk with you today, Erin. Is there any final sort of words you might have for people watching, entrepreneurs, maybe around New Zealand?
I think what we've noticed, particularly from 2020 and the challenges that many have faced, is that entrepreneurship is a way in which you can take control and create your own future, especially if you've been in an area of hardship. And we've seen a lot of small businesses pop up and come through our seed grant initiative and also our co-starters programs, very much businesses looking at becoming a bike mechanic, becoming a landscaper, becoming a, good on them. We are so proud of those businesses because, they were dealt a pretty hard, lot last year. Many of us have, but some of us have had to mortgage our houses and, lost our jobs. They've dusted themselves off, done something about it, and entrepreneurship is another way into employment on your terms. It does take hard work, but there are many great businesses, not only Soda, but across New Zealand that can help you get started. We find that there are a number of entrepreneurs we've helped very early stage, haven't had the confidence to try, because they feel like they don't know enough. You know enough if there is you can see a problem and you think you have that solution. There are then processes that you can work through, whether it be soda or others, to help you work out that jigsaw puzzle about what you need to know, how you might test it, who you need to talk to. So that's how businesses like soda can help you, from that idea, getting it out of your head, to working out what might that roadmap be, how might you get started. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun and it's very rewarding.
That's a great way to finish up. And look, that was Erin Wansbrough, Chief Executive at Soda. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Erin.
Thank you, Richard. It's been an absolute pleasure.